Tonight on Cronkite News, the fight at the Arizona Capitol over abortion continues.
Plus, a content creator living in the Arizona area shares her thoughts on the possibility of a TikTok ban.
And a look at what will be the last game for the Coyotes in Arizona for the foreseeable future. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Leslie Chapman.
And I'm Zariah Cole. Thank you for joining us.
Starting off with news from Arizona, a power struggle today at the Capitol over the issue of Arizona's abortion law.
Reporter Lauren Bly was at the Capitol as House members took up the issue of a Civil War-era law. She joins us now to tell us how the legislature voted.
Today's vote wasn't even on the law itself. Instead, it was a vote to even hear the bill to repeal the near-total ban.
There were tense moments at the Capitol today as people from both sides of the abortion debate gathered to see and hear what the legislature would decide. Republicans say this pre-Roe law is still being litigated in court and shouldn't be rushed.
The last thing we should be doing today is rushing a bill through the legislative process to repeal a law that has been enacted and reaffirmed by the legislature several times.
Although Democrats feel this is a fight that has been fought for years.
The Speaker mentioned that we shouldn't be rushing this process. Members, we have had since 1864 to repeal this abhorrent law.
Democrats say they have introduced a bill for the past 6 years to repeal the law and have been ignored.
We are the representatives of the people, and the people want this repealed. It is time to have a vote. It is time to repeal this abhorrent 1864 abortion ban.
People in support of repealing the pre-statehood law have faced an uphill battle as Arizona Republicans hold a slim majority in both the House and the Senate. And today, only one House Republican, Representative Matt Gress, joined House Democrats in an effort.
Quite frankly, the territorial law is too extreme. And on the other hand, you have the Arizona Abortion Access Act, which I believe is too extreme and goes too far. So most Arizonans are in the middle ground. I think the 15-week time frame is, with reasonable exceptions, is where most of Arizona is.
House Speaker Thomas says this hot topic is one that needs to be analyzed carefully.
I understand that we have deeply held beliefs, and I would ask everyone in this chamber to respect the fact that some of us believe that abortion is in fact the murder of children.
But lawmakers in support of the repeal say this isn't as complicated as the opposing side is making it.
This issue is very simple. Do we support or do we oppose an 1864 territorial abortion ban that includes no exceptions for rape, no exceptions for incest?
And they don't plan on giving up anytime soon.
We're going to continue trying to bring this up for a vote because it is important for us to be able to just get this done and over with now.
Now to Washington, D.C., where another piece of legislation could mean you may need to find another platform to watch cat videos or cooking fails.
Republicans in Washington announced a plan put forward by House Speaker Mike Johnson that could include a bill banning TikTok. Cronkite News reporter Maria Staubs has more on the legislation.
Last month, the House passed a TikTok ban that the Senate has not yet voted on. This time, a TikTok ban could be tucked into a set of 4 separate bills. These address foreign aid and could make the ban harder for the Senate to ignore.
I follow you on TikTok.
I see you. For content creators like Aisha Beasley, who is known for her videos about life in Arizona, TikTok has been a crucial stepping stone in building her brand.
Before TikTok, I had my Instagram, and I just really never grew on there. And there came a point where I'm like, is content creation really for me, or is this just a hobby?
It was TikTok that confirmed her passion isn't just a hobby, it's a career.
It really just skyrocketed all the opportunities for me with brands, with, having the ability to leave my full-time job.
But this platform could disappear for Beasley if Congress is successful in passing a bill to ban the app unless its China-based owner sells it. One of their big concerns is that the app poses a national security risk.
We cannot rule out that the CCP could use it.
Today, House Republican leadership unveiled 3 bills that are part of an aid plan for U.S. allies.
We will vote on the Israel aid, on the aid to Ukraine, on the aid to the Indo-Pacific, and then another measure that has our national security priorities included.
A 4th bill is geared toward addressing other GOP foreign policy priorities, including a potential TikTok ban. If passed, it will have big consequences for people like Beasley.
I spent the last few years building this platform. You know, people know me for my videos, and knowing that all that hard work could be potentially gone is very unfortunate.
The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said he would give lawmakers 72 hours to review the legislation, teeing up a vote as soon as Saturday. In the newsroom, Maria Stobbs, Cronkite News.
Today, Governor Katie Hobbs announced a $500,000 investment to tackle the decline in FAFSA submissions in Arizona. The money from the emergency assistance to non-public schools federal funding will be used to increase statewide resources to support students and families, increase FAFSA completion events in Arizona, and support statewide initiatives. The goal is to increase the FAFSA submissions and resources during the summer in the state. The Arizona Board of Regents will be distributing the funding.
Coming up next, passing on an ancient art.
That's right, we'll meet an Arizona man who's teaching the next generation how to shoe horses.
I love teaching. I love the people. I can see the success. And my goal is, if I teach you, I want you to pass it on.
Why it's so important for him to teach others in his community how to be a farrier, when we return.
I'm Alana Hambro from the Cronkite Weather Center, and there's a whole lot of warmth and sunshine coming for the rest of the week, but I'll give you a little bit more of that with a full weather report after the break.
What Cronkite News means to me is opportunity.
We do news right at Cronkite News, serving a community ethically, honestly, and truthfully.
And we can provide a necessarily different angle, different voice for those people that really need it.
The students, they have a lot of passion for journalism.
I get to do a lot of stories about the Hispanic community.
And we have access to cover all of these sorts of events and get media coverage of all these different personalities and athletes, and that's just a huge thing.
But it's also a chance for people here to be humanized. Individuals of all walks of life.
Cronkite News will help take the next generation of journalists onto their next careers.
I am old enough to remember Walter Cronkite.
We're putting a lot of pride on his name because we are practicing a lot of the things that he did.
I think he'd be smiling from ear to ear.
I.
We are Cronkite.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
There are estimated to be 28,000 farriers across the United States, according to the American Farrier Journal. But one demographic is rarely included, Native Americans, and that's because the trade is barely being introduced.
Our reporter Denton Cortez took a trip out to the Thona-Otham Reservation to meet one man who is bringing the farrier trade to the Native American community.
In a remote area 145 miles away from Phoenix, surrounded by mountains as far as the eye can see.
This one good?
Yeah, this side. You will hear the sounds of a community taking ownership of their culture.
Try this and see if we're in the ballpark.
This is a farrier course taught at a community college on the Thona-Otham Nation, led by one man.
George Good. I am now retired, and I'm out to teach the natives how to trim and shoe their horses' feet correctly.
Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., George Good is nonstop.
You guys want to take out another anvil? Take out one more envelope and put it right there, would you?
At 83 years old, his passion for teaching fellow Native Americans the importance of horseshoeing is still going strong.
Horseshoeing is a science, and the natives do not know that. Somehow we got left out.
This land, while stunning, can be tough on a horse's hooves and the wallet. According to Good, proper hoof care in the Southwest Native American country can cost almost $200 every 8 weeks.
It's a heck of a maintenance. It's expensive. That's why the natives need to know how to do their own livestock.
Horses have always been a part of Native American culture since the beginning. However, maintenance on their hooves is something that's not always been focused on, making people like George Good carve a new pathway to forge a new generation.
With horseshoeing, you can't teach out of a book. This is a hands-on program.
And by the way Good students work, it's all hands on hooves.
This one good?
Yeah, this side, I can see it flush.
Okay. I need to bring this one back out. I love teaching. I love the people. I can see the success. And my goal is, if I teach you, I want you to pass it on.
The instructions go beyond just horseshoeing. One of Good's students applying his life wisdom, Adrian Morgan.
How to never give up. George is kind of annoying. He will not take no for an answer. And I learned that from him. I learned to keep working towards what I want to do.
Morgan was a student of Good's in 2004 and remembers what it was like learning the farrier trade for the first time.
I was learning. It was too much information on it one time. You know, he would tell me, bring that nail off, and I didn't understand. Now this opened up a new door for me. I was like, wow, I got a new career path now, so I'm now an instructor. I would have never thought that when I first started.
They are finding out that there is love besides just liking a horse. And now they're willing to go that one step farther.
And it's the lives touched like Morgan's that keep Good's passion going, continuing to forge the next generation of Native American farriers, all with a big smile on his face.
As I always said, this is the only job you can get a kick out of.
Literally. On the Thalna Altham Nation, Denson Cortez, Cronkite News.
The Native American Horse Education Foundation partners with tribal colleges and agricultural organizations to teach horse hoof care, where students receive a certificate and the skills needed to be self-sufficient farriers.
Well, Zariah, we've definitely been feeling the heat in the valley over the past week.
Alana Hambro has our weather report for the rest of the week to see if the heat is here to stay.
Thank you, guys. So the weather is really heating up in the desert for this week, and we can already see it with the evening planner for tonight. 89 degrees at around 6 p.m., cooling off only 10 degrees going into 10 p.m. for the night. And there's going to be a lot of warmth coming through for the rest of the week. But as you know, we're going to start with those lows. So we're going to take a look at tomorrow. We can see 32 degrees in the Grand Canyon, 54 in Sedona, and 67 in Phoenix. And those highs that I was telling you about do show a little bit tomorrow. We can see 73 degrees in the Grand Canyon, 79 in Sedona, 94 in Phoenix, and 96 in Gila Bend. I feel like I was just talking about the temps breaking 90 degrees last weekend. We are already in those high 90s for the rest of tomorrow and going into the weekend. So I know that you're curious. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So for the rest of the week going into the weekend, we can see a little bit of cloud coverage for Thursday, but those temps and the sunshine just continues. We can see here all sunshine Saturday through Thursday of next week, 98 degrees on Sunday, 99 both Monday and Tuesday. This weekend is going to be some perfect weather for the French Fry and Music Festival in Phoenix. Also, bathing suit season is coming up. I'm going to be in mine. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Alana Hambro.
A whistleblower testified before federal lawmakers on Wednesday after raising concerns with Boeing's protocols.
Engineer Sam Salapur claims the company took shortcuts when making its 777 and 787 Dreamliner jets and failed to properly fill tiny gaps when joining separately manufactured parts.
I found gaps exceeding the specification that were not properly addressed 98.7% of the time. I want to repeat that. 98.7% of the time, the gaps that they were supposed to be shimmed, they were not shimmed.
Boeing has countered the allegations about the 787, saying the claims about the structural integrity of the 787 are inaccurate. The Federal Aviation Administration is also investigating the claims.
Meanwhile, Ford has announced it's recalling 450,000 vehicles because of a problem with the battery. That could cause the vehicle to lose drive power. The models being recalled are the Ford Bronco sports SUVs made between 2021 and 2024, and Ford Maverick pickups made between 2023 and 2024. If you have one of these models, dealerships will fix the problem for free.
Coming up next on the Cronkite Sports Report, the Suns' playoff journey is about to start.
We preview their first round matchup and tell you when you can watch the Suns' playoff run in Phoenix.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see,
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia.
From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Hey, welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Kevin Malater.
And I'm Riley Swenson. Thank you for joining us.
The Arizona Coyotes are set to take on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers tonight in Tempe. However, this isn't a normal season finale, as the Coyotes are preparing to relocate to Salt Lake City, Utah come next season. And Riley, emotions and tensions are sure to be running high.
Absolutely, Kevin. Our Cronkite News reporter Trey Matthews has been down in Tempe all day and is right now live at Mullet Arena to give us more.
Yeah, guys, it's definitely going to be an emotional night here at Mullet Arena as the Coyotes are slated to take on the Oilers for what is anticipated to be their final game here at the Valley. It doesn't just run deep with the fan base, but also the Coyotes players and coaching staff.
The atmosphere at Mullet always been great. I think there's a special vibe. I think there will be something different for sure. There will be a lot of mixed feeling.
Arizona's home for me, and over the 8 years, they've been great supporting us through all the ups and downs, and they mean so much to not only myself but all of my teammates, and grateful to have them by our side through.
ASU alum Josh Stone grew up playing hockey in Arizona. Even though he's only 10 games into his NHL career, he spoke about the fan support and hopes to leave them with one final good memory.
I think at the end of the day, we want to end the season on a win, and that's something that that runs deep in that locker room with a lot of competitive guys and guys that want to win. So I think, nonetheless, with everything else going around, I think the goal is to win tonight's game and end it on a high note. I think it's something where tonight you just focus on the game, enjoy one last game, and then who knows what's going to happen down the road. But for now, the Coyotes are still Arizona's team for one more day, so just kind of embrace it.
Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m., and even though the Coyotes won't be in the playoffs, it will still be an intense atmosphere. Notable Coyotes alum Shane Doan, Michael Grabner, and Ray Whitney will all be in attendance. At Mullet Arena, Trey Matthews, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Trey. This is surely going to be a game to remember for years to come.
And to get a ticket to the action tonight, it will cost you a pretty penny. Our Danny Sullivan is here to break it down.
Tonight is set to be a historical one here in the Valley, and the likely final game for the Coyotes after 28 years here as a franchise. while now playing in the 4,600-seat Mullet Arena on campus of Arizona State University. Let's take a look at what it will cost the Yotes faithful to see their team one last time. As you can see here, it's the hottest ticket in town, with current lowest price going for $463 just hours before puck drop over here in section 108, where the average ticket in the same seat throughout the year was $110 per Vivid Seats. Now, how about if you want to get right on the glass in section 101? Well, that'll cost you upwards of $7,000 for tonight, whereas a regular season game on the glass would net you $400 a ticket, which is actually the lowest price of admission just to get into the game tonight. According to Front Office Sports, tonight's prices have seen a 250% increase, with the average ticket going for just about $1,100. With rumors of fans flying in from all across North America, let's see how this game stacks up with some of the recent events here in the desert. The most recent event, the men's Final Four, had average ticket prices going for around $700, where the Diamondbacks' magical run to the World Series cost fans around $900 a pop. The likely final game in Arizona will be an emotional one, to say the least. And fans who are lucky enough to attend the game are planning on making the arena a whiteout, a longtime playoff tradition, which will have its final edition tonight. From the newsroom, Danny Sullivan, Cronkite News.
I think it's pretty clear fans who are willing to pay the big bucks to get in tonight are certainly in for a memorable experience.
Moving on to the WNBA, the draft is over and the Phoenix Mercury welcomed 2 new players to the Valley. Both came in the 3rd round. They selected Nebraska guard Jazz Shelley with the 29th pick and UCLA's Charisma Osborne with the 25th pick in the draft. During Osborne's 5 years at UCLA, she finished 2nd all-time in scoring and was a 4-time All-Pac-12 selection. Now Osborne is coming into a competitive league, but it's one that she's always dreamed of being a part of.
I'm super excited to be drafted to Phoenix. I know they have some really amazing players there. But yeah, I think I'm super motivated. Obviously, since being a kid, I've always wanted to play in the WNBA, and to have this opportunity means the absolute world to me. And I'm just excited to go out to Phoenix and get started.
The NBA playoffs are upon us. This Saturday, the 6-seed Phoenix Suns will face the 3-seed Minnesota Timberwolves. And while the Suns may have entered the playoffs as the lower seed, the Timberwolves went 0-3 against Phoenix in the regular season. The first 4 games will be spread throughout the next week. Game 1 coming up this weekend and Game 4 on the next Sunday. Game 1 will start at 12:30 p.m. this Saturday with the Suns on the road for the first 2 games. They'll come back home for Games 3 and 4 beginning next Friday, a 7:30 p.m. start on the 26th and a 6:30 p.m. tip-off on that following Sunday. Days for Games 5 through 7, if necessary, are set, but game times have not yet been determined. It'll be a tough matchup to start the postseason, but it's all about the effort to survive and advance.
I think you started to see our team come together. You know, there's always been a narrative when the big three are together, but I think if you look at our success, you see it's much deeper than that. When our team is connected, we're really, really tough to beat.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's Cronkite Sports Report.
Now let's send it back to Leslie and Zariah.
Thanks, Kevin and Riley. Coming up next, COVID-19 took away a lot of important events for seniors graduating in 2020.
Find out what this college did to celebrate their seniors since a pandemic took away their once-in-a-lifetime events.
What Cronkite News means to me is opportunity.
We do news right at Cronkite News, serving a community ethically, honestly, and truthfully.
And we can provide a necessarily different angle, different voice for those people that really need it.
The students, they have a lot of passion for journalism.
I get to do a lot of stories about the Hispanic community.
And we have access to cover all of these sorts of events and get media coverage of all these different personalities and athletes, and that's just a huge thing.
But it's also a chance for people here to be humanized. Individuals of all walks of life.
Cronkite News will help take the next generation of journalists onto their next careers.
I am old enough to remember Walter Cronkite.
We're putting a lot of pride on his name because we are practicing a lot of the things that he did.
I think he'd be smiling from ear to ear.
I.
We are Cronkite.
The
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome back. Most seniors in college are looking forward to graduating and finding a job.
However, the University of Wisconsin is celebrating their seniors with a prom, since some of them never got to go.
A majority of the students graduating in the spring never got a prom due to the pandemic. The college wanted to do something special for the soon-to-be graduates, so they decided to give them their very own prom. Over 800 tickets were purchased for the event. That's it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.